Good morning, girls and boys. Welcome back with Miss May in English Plus 1 Year 5. We are into Unit 1 today, which is about towns and cities. Let's look at the picture. Doesn't this place look amazing? It is British Library. It's the National Library of the UK. Is also the largest library in the world, and it includes around 14 million books. Next, we have Regents Park, one of the royal parks of London. It includes London Zoo, Queen Mary's Rose Garden, which had 12,000 roses inside. Next, it is the Savoy Hotel, which had a history of 131 years old. It's one of the oldest hotels in London, and it's also the first luxury hotel in Britain. It has been called London's most famous hotel. Here comes the Nelson's Column, which is a monument in Trafalgar Square in the city of Westminster, central London. It was erected to commemorate Admiral Horatio Nelson's victory at the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805, a victory in which he died. So we can see that on the top of the monument is Nelson's Column, and the whole monument is in the city of central London, which next, this fancy building, we call it Harrods, which is a department store located on Brompton Road in Knightsbridge, London. It is one of the largest and most famous department stores in Europe. So if you love shopping, you will love Harrods. Next, we have this Covent Garden, which it used to be home of the world famous fruit and vegetable market. But nowadays, it is a world-class shopping and dining destination. Next, we know about the famous London buses, which is popular with its red color, and here is the Victoria bus station. Well, let's look at this huge and crystal screen. It is actually the IMAX Cinema, they have this screen which is the largest in Britain, which is 20-meter height and 26-meter wide. And it can presenting 3D films on a giant screen. Imagine that you are standing on the street and watching a 3D Spider-Man. Next, we have Chinatown. It contains a number of Chinese restaurants, bakeries, supermarkets, souvenir shops, and other Chinese-run business. Here comes the King's Cross train station. It's one of the busiest stations in the United Kingdom. Next, we continue with the West End, or we can call it West End of London. As well as theatre, the West End has many of London's major attractions, shops and restaurants, making it a must-see for any visitor. And it has the oldest theatre, which is still in use today, and the name of the theatre is Theatre Royal Drury Lane, which opened in 1663. Do not forget about the Tower Bridge as well. It is one of their signature at London. It's a combined bicycle and suspension bridge in London. The bridge crosses the River Thames close to the Tower of London and has become a world-famous symbol of London. And the last one is the latest building in London, which is also the tallest building in the United Kingdom, and also the 6th tallest building in Europe, and we call it the Shard. Let's listen and watch the video.
Is your town a good place to live?
Yes, I think so. It's great that there are a lot of things to do in the evening. There are some cafes, cinemas, restaurants, things like that. It's an interesting place to live.
Have you got a favourite place in your town?
Yes, my favourite place is a French restaurant. I really like French food. There isn't a theatre here, but I like living in this town.
Tell me about your city. Do you like it here?
Yes, it's okay here. I like it. We've got a sports centre near our house, and it's great that there are some parks in the city too. What do you think of your town?
Well, we've got a library near our house. There's an old bridge and a monument too.
Yes, it isn't very exciting really.
Well, there's a cafe.
Yes, but there's one cafe, and it's at the bus station.
Yes, there aren't any good shops here.
Yeah, it isn't very good to be honest.
No, it isn't great really.
Alright, after listen and watch the video, let's answer the question here. Number 1, there isn't a theater here. Number 2, there are some parks in the city too. 3, there is an old. 4, there is a. And 5, there aren't any good here.
This is Pip's bedroom.
There's a bed.
There's a bed.
There are some books.
There are some books.
There isn't a chair.
There isn't a chair.
Aren't any posters.
There aren't any posters.
What's in Pip's bedroom?
What's in Pip's bedroom?
Bed.
There is a bed.
There's a bed.
There's a bed.
There is not a chair.
There is not a chair.
There isn't a chair.
There isn't a chair.
There are not any posters.
There are not any posters.
There aren't any posters.
There aren't any posters.
There are some books.
There are some books.
Next, here's an exercise in page 13. Write true sentences about your town or city using there is, there isn't, there are, there aren't, and with a, and, some, and any. For example, there is an area called Chinatown. There are some nice cafes. And then number 3, 4, and 5.